How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the channel. This is Big Daddy Dave, and this is Farm Sim Talk, a show where we get to interview fellow creators within the Farm Sim community. And it's one of those where I think I'm in the movie Multiplicity. And what I mean by that is normally we do one-on-one interviews here for the Farm Sim Talk, but as of the last one, we ended up having two people on our Farm Sim Talk, and it was the old gamers Lane and Wayne. Greatly appreciate them coming on last episode there. But now, like I said, we're in multiplicity here because I'm joined by not one, two, three. I'm actually joined by four guests here tonight. I want to thank each and every one of them. You most likely know them from a lot of the work they do within the farming sim community here. They are Shantyboys Map Creations. Shantyboys, how is every single one of you doing out there tonight? We've got Matt, we got Mr. T-Bone, we've got Nuclear Salmon, and we have Brenon Gaming. How's everybody doing out there tonight?
Oh,
doing great.
Doing good.
Great. Thank you for having us.
Oh, it's my pleasure. So, normally how we start things off here is we just do a quick introduction and let everybody know where we can find you. So, first off, do you want to let everybody know where you can be found as a group? How about you, Matt? Do you want to give that kind of quick shout out?
Yeah, we're Shantyboys Map Creations. We have our own Discord, and I don't know, did you post a link to our website?
I
BDD?
did. Mm-hmm.
You did. So there's going to be a link in the description to our website. It has all our maps and everything. I know each of us individually have our own YouTube channels. And then we also have a YouTube channel. And I don't think I even gave you the link, but it's Shantyboys YouTube channel where we can post stuff as a group. But we have not really got that one up and going quite yet. Thoroughly.
Excellent. And Matt, do you want to give your channel a shout out? Let everybody know where that is.
My channel is just Matt, just like my name, Matt, and it's on YouTube. If you get lost, Matt, just search Farming Simulator Matt, or you can click on the link in this description. But yeah, just type Matt Farming Simulator. My videos will come up. I do a little bit of everything besides Farming Simulator. I do vlogs and sometimes cooking, barbecuing, a multitude of things. I do. Me and Vanessa played around. We're doing some podcasts. So that's my girlfriend.
Excellent. And Mr. T-Bone, how about you? You want to give yourself a shout out where you can be found?
Well, I just got a YouTube channel. It's under Mr. T-Bone 39, or the Shantyboys Map Creations YouTube channel. That's about it. I mean, I don't know what else to state on that. Usually we're all together, so if you find one, you usually find us all.
Excellent. And Nuclear Salmon, how about yourself? Nuke, are you on mute?
Oh, sorry about that. What was the question again?
Where can people find you?
Oh, so I am on my main channel is YouTube, and I guess I'd say the secondary channel for me would be Twitch. I am over there. And also there's kind of a notification channel that I have on Twitter. I don't get over there as much, but yeah, that's kind of the three spots that you can find me, and usually hanging out in everybody's chat around the community as well.
Excellent. And last but certainly not least, Brennan, what about you? Where can people find you?
You can find me on my YouTube channel, Brenon Gaming. That way everybody can find me in the Shantyboys YouTube channel.
Excellent. And now I also give an opportunity for anybody who wants to give a shout out to anybody, whether it's in the community, within your own personal life. Let's go ahead and start with Matt. Matt, do you want to give any shout outs?
Yes, there's several of them. First and number one, where it all started, I'd like to give my friend Mr. T-Bone a shout out. Thank you, buddy, for getting me involved in this undertaking, map making. It's been quite adventurous. I'd like to give. We always talk about FDR inspired us. So FDR Logging is going to get a shout out, and my girlfriend Vanessa for being my support. Brenon, my son, he's been there with me playing Farming Simulator. Far as people in community, we got Rusty Money. He's really been good friends of ours. Bruce's Gaming, Cavalier Roy. He's another map maker. He really helps us out when we need help. And in the beginning of the Shanty Boys, I guess I'm going to give Gamer Designs a shout out also. He really helped us kind of get started also. He was there with us for a little bit.
Fantastic. And Mr. T-Bone, how about you? Do you have any shout outs you want to give?
I'll give a few. My two boys. It's well, my two sons. And then I want to give a shout out to Brendan, Matt, Newt, the Shanty boys, and the Shanty girls that are all around us. That kind of motivates each other and pushes each other to keep doing what we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic. Nuclear Salmon, how about you? Do you have any shout outs you want to give?
Well, I guess I'm gonna give a few shout outs here, and I'd like to give a few shout outs here to three people that I first started watching. Kind of introduced me to this whole farm sim. I didn't even know farm sim community was a thing on YouTube and other places until it'd be the first three I started watching were DJ Goham, Farmer Cop, and actually, believe it or not, Why Not Gaming was the first three people that I started watching on YouTube here. And those three people opened me up to everyone that I know today in this community and has opened up all these different doors to different people. And so give those three a shout out. I like to give Rusty Money a shout out as well. He really inspired me with his challenges. So yeah, I think that's a pretty good shout out list right there.
Absolutely. And Brennan, how about you? Do you have any shout outs you want to give?
Well, I like to give a shout out to my dad and Mr. T-Bone because they've helped me work on my first map in FS19. And of course Nuclear because he's been a good friend to me. And Rusty, of course, he's a good guy too.
You'll make me cry, Brennan.
$50 through Super
It's
Chat.
Farmer Car.
What a fantastic group of
Do
people.
our map tours
Have to head
and
out, but
everything.
have stop in to show some support to this great
That's
group of modders.
That's what I got for the shout outs.
Gotcha. And Farmer Cop in the chat with a $50 super chat. Thank you, Farmer Cop, so very much. Greatly appreciate it. Says, what a
That's one person. Yeah. I forgot to. Farmer Cop, I'm so sorry. Farmer Cop has really helped us. We've known him since 2,000 subscribers, almost the beginning of his channel, and he's been really a good friend of ours. He does all our map tours. He's amazing.
Yeah, he is amazing,
and he's just amazing. So
that's fantastic. He says, what a fantastic group of people. Have to head out, but had to stop in and show some support to this great group of modders. 100%. Thank you so much for stopping in, Farmer Cop. Greatly appreciate it. So now,
thank you, Farmer Cop.
Thank you.
Now we're going to go ahead and head into our first segment here. This segment is called Digging Up Dirt. This is a segment where we get to know you more as the individuals that you are, and a little less outside of the community that you participate in. So first question I have, we're going to start with Matt. Matt, do you have a job outside of creating mods for the community here?
Yes. Well, when it all began, I had a regular full-time job. I worked at the university for 30 years here in town, and I took retirement under the retirement plan called 80 and out, where your years and age of service equal 80. So I retired at age 50. And I'm saying, great, I can dedicate more time to making more maps. And well, no. I went back to work at the Dollar Tree Distribution Center and worked there a year and a half. And with a little bit, my oldest son, he said, Dad, you won't be able to handle it. And but currently, I am basically door dashing full time and enjoying it. I can be done by noon. I can be done by 1 o'clock, whatever time I want to quit, wherever I think I need to be at for the day on my money making goal. And so I DoorDash and then work on maps on the computer, Brennan and Mr. T-Bone and Nuclear and all our other friends that pop in.
I got you. And Mr. T-Bone, how about yourself? Do you have a job outside of map making and creating maps?
No, I don't. I'm disabled. I've had my neck broke long years ago, so I've got some metal rods and pins. So I'm a full-time dad. I got my 2 boys, and that's about it.
Gotcha. And Nuclear, how about yourself?
So this will be my 4th year working at one of the Major League Baseball stadiums. I work there in the concessions department, and so that's going to be starting up here this month actually. So that's just a seasonal job. So that's only part. That's this year. It's going to be March to October if there's no postseason. So yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to coming up next.
I gotcha. And then Brennan, last to you.
Me and my mom do just a little bit of door dashing for extra money. My dad got us into do door dashing. That what I basically do every once in a while. Yeah, I like to go fishing too.
I
He loves
gotcha.
he loves fishing. Yep.
Well, that actually leads into my next question. What are some of the hobbies that you have? And obviously, Brennan, you say fishing. Is there a specific kind of fishing you like to do, or
Any kind,
okay,
like trout.
okay?
Yes, catching trout down to Warren River State Park.
And have you ever gone
Camping
saltwater
area.
fishing, like out in the ocean?
Or fishing at like a lake or something like that.
Okay, okay. And what about you, Nuclear? What kind of hobbies do you have?
What kind of hobbies don't I have? Anything outdoors, I'm game for. Usually in the winter. I'm not like, far up north like Minnesota or anything, but we're pretty close to the border, Canadian border, so it's kind of chilly here in the winters, and usually we just stay indoors during the winters, but as soon as it warms up, we're outside, and it's either at the lake, at the ocean, or somewhere else, going out to the woods or camping or doing something outside, really.
I gotcha. And what about you, Mr. T-Bone? What kind of hobbies do you have?
Fishing. I'm gonna have to state that I'm big cat fishing, and then map making. I do like outdoors. I like racing, dirt track racing, big dirt track racing fan.
Okay. Is there specific leagues that you tend to follow, or?
On racing, the just the dirt tracks, late models, open wheels. So it's not leagues. Not really. Not quite yet.
Okay. And lastly, you, Matt, what kind of hobbies do you have?
Of course, fishing, but I don't get to do much of that. I'm working quite a bit. I would love to do some more fishing, though. Like Brennan, trout fishing is one of my favorite. We go down to Roaring River State Park down in southern Missouri. Me and Vanessa are in the choir, and I'm trying to think of what else. We do karaoke on Wednesday nights. Uh, that's about it. That's about it.
Oh, that sounds fun. I haven't done karaoke in years, 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 years.
That is lots of fun. I do play. Oh, I guess another hobby. I do play the guitar. I'm
Oh,
getting better and better at it every day. I have got a bunch of songs that I can play really good. So a lot of country songs and just some variety. I got Gordon Lightfoot. A couple of his songs I play. Uh, enjoy doing that. And then I'll play, and then Vanessa will sing some of her songs too. So
so Gordon Lightfoot plays one of my most favorite songs. because I'm from Michigan. One of the big events from yesteryear. A lot of people have never heard of it, but it's the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald up there in Lake
Oh
Superior.
yeah.
One of my favorite tunes that he's done.
Yeah,
Oh,
that
that's a
is
good song.
my favorite. My grandfather, back in the '60s, 50s and '60s, worked on the Great Lakes on one of the iron ore boats, and he worked on an engine room, and did that basically his whole life. That, and I think he did some forestry too, but that's one of his highlights is working on the Great Lakes. And so I'm a kind of a history buff when it comes to the Great Lakes shipping. Me and Brenon, we follow when the shipping season opens. I believe it opens March 23rd when the locks open in Sault Ste. Marie. We'll watch boats come in and out of Duluth. They got a high low bridge there that raises up and down, and the boats come in, and they got a ship schedule. I mean, that's quite a thing people follow. Vanessa's probably like, "Oh my gosh, he likes ships."
Well, it's funny that you mentioned Sault Ste. Marie. I actually took my wife there about a year and a half ago to show her the lock. She'd never even heard of anything like that because she, pretty much lived in Florida her whole life. But I'm originally from Michigan, so when I went and took her up to the Upper Peninsula there, it's like, "Oh yeah, I'll take you up to Sault Ste. Marie. We'll check out the locks." And she's like, "Well, what's that?" And I got to show her that, and there was actually, boats that were coming in and out of the locks at the time.
Awesome.
So we got to actually see like one of the tour boats going into the lock and the
Oh,
locks,
true, bro.
yep, going up and down. It was pretty cool. But
If you look at if people watching chat, after the stream here want to watch some YouTube, me and Brendan both have a video, a piece on there with the boat coming into Duluth and the horn honking, and pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's really interesting because you can get some of those massive shipping, the freighter ships going through these locks, and you just watch it just steadily rises up. It's just incredible. It's really kind of an engineering feat. And for those who follow the channel a lot, know that I'm big into the whole engineering and how things work kind of thing. So Matt, what kind of favorite books, movies, or music do you have?
Oh, books. I this is my book. I read the news. As far as books, I don't really read books. I used to when I was a kid, where the red fern grows. You had to read that in school, but movies. I haven't seen a movie in ages. I guess some older movies, Back to the Back to the Future series, Shawshank Redemption, some of those. Music, all sorts of music. I love movie music. I love country music. I love the not really hard rock. AC/DC every once in a while, classic rock, Leonard Skinner, you name it.
So more of like a southern rock almost?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a little bit of everything.
Okay.
And I listen to podcasts, conspiracy theories, and all that stuff too. But my girlfriend's probably shaking her head. Oh God. Yeah.
So, kind of
where are the aliens?
So to follow up with the karaoke, when you go to karaoke, what kind of music do you tend to sing?
I sing Lodi, which is oh God, I'm drawing a blank here. Lodi, stuck in Lodi again. Oh gosh, why am I drawing a blank? But CCR sings Lodi. Then oh gosh, what else do I sing? If I had Vanessa in here with me, she could say that. But just a variety of stuff. Me and Vanessa do a duet with Johnny Cash and June Carter Jackson. We do a pretty good duet there. Karaoke.
Oh, that's awesome. Mr. T-Bone, same question to you. What are some of your favorite books, movies, and music?
Well, I don't have no books. I don't read books. I ain't read books since school. But the movies, Halloween is my favorite. I love Michael Myers. I'm totally opposite. I guess I'm a big scary person fan, so I like that kind of stuff. Music, rock and roll, heavy metal.
I gotcha. So you're more into like the horror genre when it comes to movies, correct?
Yes.
Uh, do you continue to watch more of the modern kind of movies? I mean, Mike Myers, it was kind of the the slasher films, but you keep up with like the more like modern, like Saw or anything along
Oh,
those
oh
lines.
yes, oh yes. All the scary movies, I watch every one of them.
I'm a big horror fan as well. As a matter of fact, my mother was the one who kind of got me into them, and yeah, it just there's some about that kind of thrill and rush when it comes to
Yeah,
watching them. It just really kind of grips you and kind of gets that whole fight or flight mode engaged. That it's just
it,
really fun.
yeah, it sure does.
And let me point this out. It's fun because you're not at risk. That's
Exactly.
that's what's fun about it. My
Yeah,
my wife, she'll sit there and she's like, "How do you watch this stuff?" And it's like because it's fun. She's like, "No, it's not." And her and I will go back and forth. But I did get her into watching quite a few for a while there, and it wasn't until she ended up getting to the what's the movie series, the haunting movies where they clap. What's oh goodness, Conjuring, the Conjuring series.
yes, yes.
Where we got to the second one, and I ended up watching it before she did, and I told her, firm no, you're not watching this movie, The Conjuring 2. And it
Yes,
was specific. Have you seen that movie, Conjuring 2?
Is
yes.
that about the doll? Is
No,
that
So
that
there's like bits and pieces of the doll in it,
yeah,
uh,
right?
yes,
Right.
but no, that one's more of oh goodness, not the witch. The first one was kind of the quote unquote the witch, but
yeah,
it's more around Ed and Lorraine Lauren,
Oh
and
yeah, yeah.
their kind of escapades
Hmm.
and whatnot. But no, the second one, there's the involvement of a baby, and at the time we were going through IVF and all that, and I put a firm no. It's like not one that you're watching because there's a specific scene in it that I know would have just crushed her.
Hmm.
yeah.
So yeah, it was one of those I was protecting her something fierce on that one. Nuke, how about you? What's some of your favorite books, movies, and music?
Well, not really much of a book reader, but I do have one book. It's my automotive, Haynes Automotive Manual that I'm reading up on. And other than that, for reading, I do like to kind of surf the web and look for, kind of online cookbooks, online recipes, and just kind of look for stuff that's good, find some new ideas for,
Hmm.
for cooking wise and, all that. Movies, I guess, the big ones like Star Wars. I never got into Star Trek, I had to say, for all the Star Trek fans out there. But yeah, definitely more of a Star Wars fan. I do love Indiana Jones, all their series. I haven't really paid attention to the new movies coming out, but I might watch those sometime. Even with the Star Wars too, I haven't really seen the new ones coming out, but the classics. I'm really more of a classic movie. Um, the movies that were made in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, those are the ones that kind of stand out to me. Um, but yeah, anything Clint Eastwood
Vanessa
too.
McCurry
Anything Clint
donated
Eastwood, I will
$9.99 through
watch.
Super
So
Chat. Shanty Boys
my
Love.
wife actually says I'm kind of an old soul when it comes to movies and music and all that. But yeah, I'm definitely more of a classic movie watcher.
I'm right there with you. I completely understand. Real quick, Rail Fanning Jonah with the gifted membership. Rail Fanning, thank you so very much. I greatly appreciate it. And Vanessa McCrory gave a
My great friend.
9.99. Oh, well,
Yeah.
well, thank you very much, Vanessa. 9.99 super chat says Shanty Boy Love. Thank you so very much. I greatly, greatly appreciate it. And lastly, again, but not least, Brennan, what about you? What kind of books, movies, or music are you into?
Oh no, I don't read books either. This is basically my book here, like my dad.
Yeah, I think the cell phone has robbed us all of that. Go ahead, Brennan.
And I'm a big Star Wars fan, and I like Indiana Jones and Disney movies. Just- I like a good Tom Hanks movie too. He
Gotcha.
makes good movies.
Which Tom Hanks movie is your favorite?
Castaway.
Great movie.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And what about music? What kind of music do you like?
I don't listen to that much music. Every once in a while, I listen to music.
I gotcha. I gotcha.
I just listen to whatever music that's out there.
All right. Now, Brendan, we'll go ahead and start with you on this next one. What's some of the oddest, either books? You said you don't read much. So, what's the oddest movies or music that you've listened to?
Dean Powell has become a member.
I never seen any heard any kind of artist movie songs.
Okay. And what about you, Nuke? What's the kind of oddest or weirdest movie, book, or music that you listened to or have watched?
Well, the oddest book, it was back in school. I can't remember what grade, but we read this book, and I think it was a series of books. It was kind of it was a fiction, wasn't a real, story, but they had this family that had too many kids in this like timeline, and you were only supposed to have so many. There was a kid limit, like you couldn't have more than 2 kids, and pretty much the whole series is this kid who's kind of the third wheel, you could say. He's kind of not supposed to be there, not supposed to exist. I can't really remember what the name of the book was called, but yeah, that one was kind of an odd one that kind of
Dean
sticks
Powell
out to me.
donated
I'll always
$1
remember
through
that
Super
one.
Chat.
And we were kind of made to read that in school, so it's kind of a weird one that stuck out to me. As far as movies, odd movies, I kind of find, I don't know if you'd classify these as horror movies because they're not like straight horror, but they're kind of almost like that Squid Game that came out recently. But kind of movies like that, they're like they have like a game feel to it. It's like they're in a serious scenario, but it's like they're playing a game at the same time. Kind of, yeah. There's one. It's called The Cube. If anybody's ever seen that on Netflix, that's a good one too. It's odd, but it's interesting at the same time. And
Very good movie. Very good movie. For what it is, it's very good. I've seen it many times. They actually made a couple of sequels and even a prequel, if I remember right.
yeah, yeah. We watched the one of them, and then we started to find the sequels and the prequel. We're like, oh wow, there's more of them. Like,
So I held off on this one because you had mentioned that you're a Star Wars fan, and Brendan also mentioned he's a Star Wars fan. So one of the oddest things that I've ever seen in my life, and I was talking to Brendan about this earlier, was the Star Wars Holiday Special. And the reason I bring this up is because Brendan earlier mentioned that he has actually seen it and is the first person I've ever come across. I am 41 years of age right now. The only person in my 41 years who's actually experienced that movie with me. So, Brendan, big shout out to you because wow. All right, Mr. T-Bone, how about you? What's your oddest book, movie, or music?
When I was in school, I think it was called Wild Things. It's about 4 or 5 little monsters, look like gremlins, and it was a little boy that walked through, the forest and stuff, and he become friends with them. That was the oddest book I've ever read in my life. On movies, I don't know if I'm allowed to say, so I'm not going to say the name, but I'll give you a hint. It was in town. It was about a plant that eat people, and it talked, and it he had him as a pet, and it was a plant. And it was years ago. It was an old movie.
Oh,
But I cannot. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, with Rick Moranis, correct?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Very good
Yep.
movie. Very, very good movie. Yeah, Rick Moranis, Steve Martin.
Yes.
I cannot remember the young lady who played in that movie.
It was almost like a musical too. It's done a lot of singing in it.
Yep. Yep.
Yep.
Good movie, but definitely very odd.
Odd.
And last but not least, Matt, what about you? Oddest book, movie, or music?
Wow. To be honest with you, I figured going last on this question would be easy, but oh my heavens, I don't really have one. Movies I watched, they've been fairly well written, very good storylines. I know Vanessa doesn't let me get into anything that I don't think I would like, but I'm trying odd. Just I got a favorite TV series that I watch, uh, but it's not really odd. I really don't have an answer, BDD, to be honest with you on that one.
All right, no worries. What's your favorite series?
Manifest. It's on Netflix. It's a good series about an airplane that comes back. The people come back like 5 years later, and nobody can explain why they were gone for such a long time, and they all suddenly came back, and everybody else is on with their lives, and they're kind of left behind, and kind of they're different from everybody else. So that's a pretty good series to watch.
Okay, yeah, this is one I've not heard of before, but definitely sounds like it'd be.
Yeah, I mean, I left off on season 3, but if I pick back up on it, I'll watch the whole night. I just one of those series you can't, not stop watching.
One of those binge-worthy movies or series.
Yes, absolutely. Yep.
All right, so Matt, starting with you, what would you do if modding was not an option anymore? For whatever reason, you could not do it, whether like your computer blew up or whatever the case may be. What would you do in its place?
I would probably just play the game. If my computer blew up, I don't know. Hopefully, I would get a new computer. I love talking to these guys. I love the camaraderie. Whether we're sitting here modding, sometimes we don't sit here modding. We'll sit here fishing on the fishing game, Hunter Called Wild Fishing, and we'll just sit here and hang out and chit chat and talk and play a game. We're playing. Sometimes we play separate games. Sometimes we play everything together. But probably playing games, video games, and maybe watching a little more TV at night.
I gotcha. Mr. T-Bone, how about you? What would you do if modding wasn't the option for you anymore?
Drive myself crazy first. And then now I would have to do my best to get a system and play games, hang out with the guys and the Shanty boys. They ain't just friends; they're family, and that's just the way I look at it. If I have a problem, I need somebody's opinion, I can come talk to them.
Mm-hmm.
That's fantastic. Nuclear, what about you? What would you do if modding wasn't an option anymore?
Well, since I'm just getting into it, and also thank you to Shanty Boys, another shout out to them for bringing me onto the team. But yeah, just recently I became a Shanty Boy, so it's really a whole new experience to me. But I do kind of have a bug right now for it. So if it suddenly became unavailable to me, I think I'd be a little bit disappointed and kind of a little bit heartbroken, because I have some projects that I want to complete at least. So if for some reason it wasn't available to me, right now it'd be kind of troublesome, but at the same time, it's I don't have too much put into it, so like I said, I'm just getting into the Shanty Boys and they're teaching me a lot and all that. So, but yeah, that's a good question. I'd probably play the game a lot more. I'd get back to playing the game. Me and Brenon get back to playing like we do. So
Like us sitting in the diner making a
I
roleplay video.
I just kind of something popped out into my mind. I would yes, definitely do some more YouTube related stuff, promote my channel type things like streaming whatever game, doing. I mean, what you do, BDD. These type of interviews or podcasts. That podcasts really interest me. Like I said, Vanessa and I did a little two or three series on door dashing, and we sit there and talk to each other about door dashing and take, like you do, take questions from the chat, and really had fun. Really had a lot of fun with it, talking about that.
Okay. And then, Brennan, what about you? What would you do if creating mods and maps wasn't an option for you anymore?
I just relax and play Farming Simulator and probably play Hunter Call the Wild or Call the Wild the Angler and probably Snow Runner. And relax with my friends.
I gotcha. So, Brennan, starting with you, one of the kind of running themes that I've been finding with doing this whole interview series is that there's oftentimes people who will be playing Farming Simulator, but they have almost an affinity to the whole simulator genre. What about you? Do you like to play other types of simulators or things like that, or is just Farming Sim kind of your speed?
American Truck Simulator. I'd like to play. That's
Okay.
pretty fun. Driving the load, flipping the truck over.
Flipping the truck over.
That happens a lot. That's true.
I was gonna ask, have you seen my channel? I flip a lot of things over.
Yeah, it's time. It's a classic Brenon ATS.
What about you, Nuke? Do you find yourself just kind of honing in on Farming Simulator, or do you just enjoy this genre of simulators?
So I think I enjoy the genre of simulators. I think really when you look at any game, that's all it is a simulator. It's you're simulating doing something, no matter what what the game is. But yeah, for Farm Sim, that's definitely been, that's been something that it's never really got boring to me. I mean, there's been times where I've went to another game and I've always come back. I've always come back to Farm Sim. I love Farm Sim so much that I dared to create content on the game. There's, other than ATS, maybe some fishing, here and there, there's not another game that I really would like to make content for other than Farm Sim, and that keeps bringing me back to that game. But that game, I love that game. I've been playing since the FS15, and it's
Oh, wow.
I'll be playing until they're done with it, or until I'm done. One or the other.
Yeah, someone said it as a fast food simulator.
Yeah, fast food simulator. That's a good game.
That's one I haven't even heard of. Fast Food Simulator?
Yeah, it's not definitely not for a single person. Don't buy it if you're going to play it by yourself, because you'll get so overwhelmed by it. It's very much a team effort. We found that out just almost by accident, just all of us playing together, and it's like you're running here and there, and it just because everything's, you have to custom make every order. I mean,
Oh,
it's
wow.
not something you just grab off a shelf. You have to custom make the burgers. You cut either small, medium, large fries. You either whatever soda you want, one or two ice. If you put two ice in, that's customer will complain. Chicken patties, McNuggets, you name it, and it comes in just like fast food restaurant. You have to read that little thing, and okay, this goes on tray, and then it's ready to go to customer.
You're making me hungry.
I'm so sorry. Yeah, those chicken nuggets are sounding good, aren't they?
Mr. T-Bone, how about yourself? Do you just stick with Farming Simulator, or do you have an affinity for just simulators in general?
No, I like simulation games. Mostly, Farm Sim. It just like Nuke said. I cannot I cannot step away from it and play another game for very long. Mud Runner, I love that game. It's an older game, but I do love it. Um, the fishing game, I love it. But I always see myself coming back to Farm Simulator,
Mhm.
and it's because I don't know why. It just I'm addicted to it. I'm just yeah. GE is my game, and the game is actually the side game.
Okay. And then Matt, what about you? Do you just stick with farming sim, or do you do other styles of
We,
other styles of sim as well?
I do other styles of fast food simulator, or I guess the fishing one would be like a fishing simulator. There's goals involved, but it's still a simulation game. Any type of simulation game, American Truck Simulator, Mud Runner. Never really gotten a Snow Runner. It kind of controls kind of seem difficult for me on that. But like Mud Runner, we had me and Brennan and T Bone would sit there for hours just downloading these maps and cutting through the wilderness and it was
Trail ride.
trail riding basically, yeah. And I have done Microsoft uh, airplane simulator. I have train simulator on my computer, but I'd like to try out the new Microsoft flight simulator. I'd like to try that out. That seems pretty fun. But laid back games. My genre has really changed since console. Console, I was Black Ops 4, and figuring out which gun I need to you know go play with, and then it was Black Ops. What else did I play in PlayStation? Brennan, do you recall? It was Black Ops 4.
Farming Simulator 17.
Oh yeah, well, yeah. It's a farming simulator. It's just more the laid back games. Uh, it was just a great community. It's great. Farming Simulator has a great community, and just enjoy it.
Yeah, 100% on that last comment there. So Matt, let's start with you on this one. One of the things that I have been hearing, and I 100% agree with this, part of the reason why I kind of gravitated towards Farming Simulator was because it's so relaxing. Because, like you mentioned before, I used to do those kind of games as well. The Black Ops, the Call of Duties, things like that. I'm a big hockey fan, so I'd play the hockey game. But as I was getting older, I realized that I was starting to feel almost twitchy after playing those games. I would kind of get like really kind of amped up. And then eventually I came across Farming Simulator, and I started back in FS19. And that was the first time where I really got to play a game and I wasn't like amped up after everything was said and done. And it was just that I could turn my brain off and follow the procedure. So my question to you is that do you think that the reason why it's so inviting or so easy to get into is because you're able to just kind of go with the flow and just follow the procedures? It's not one of those that you've got to fight and get to the next point, get to the next mission, and do all that stuff, or is it just or do you feel like I'm a little off base? Like, what do you think?
No, you're absolutely. You make the game what you put into it, because you could do a multitude of tasks. Whether it's farming, harvesting, spraying. You're it's not some it's everything. It's all different. Uh, and then you start thinking, well, this is this kind of fun. Now it's even more fun. I don't know how we did it back in FS Farm Sim 19. The productions and at the end of 22 and now 25, the productions. I really love the productions. It's just like you could keep so busy. I mean, it could be almost like a job, somebody paying you to do it, and fake life it is. You're getting paid to take your crop to somewhere, and you're getting paid. Uh, so relaxing. You can just kind of chill out, and it's you're not don't like you said you don't have. I played Dead by Daylight. It was a game where you go into the match with four people, and you have to worry about people uh, lag spiking you, and you have to worry about it. It was just like I would get so much anxiety playing that game. I don't even know why I played that game as long as I did, but that it was so much anxiety. I said I quit playing it. I met some good friends playing it. I played with some Japanese guys, and I said in my stream one time, I said, why do you, what's somebody asked me why do I like playing video games? I says because it brings people together. And playing with these Japanese guys, I said it doesn't matter if you're from another country. The game is played the same with everybody. It brings people together. That's the best I can explain it.
No, 100%. Again, totally agree. Mr. T-Bone, what about you? What kind of brings you about, bringing playing Farming Simulator? Is it because it's a kind of a nice, relaxed, kind of chilled, laid back kind of game, or is it something else for you?
Well, I mean, it is relaxing. I got into it in FS19. Off of shout out to FDR. He's the one that got me pretty much into it. Of watching YouTube videos and things. And then next thing I know, I was hooked. I used to play Call of Duty. I used to play, all the shooting games and first person, games and all that. But when it comes down to it, when I got hooked on Farm Simulator, I played it. I played the game. It was on console. It was on PS4, and then I noticed it was more than that. So that's where the modding community comes in. So I wanted to learn, and the more I come into people's channels on YouTube of playing Farm Simulator, I've seen how nice and coming together, just like Matt stated, and how everybody could get along as different than a group of people playing Call of Duty and getting rowdy with each other. So that's the reason why I've kind of faded and love Farm Simulator and meet great people, great friends, and met the Shanty boys and become a family.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic. Nuke, what about you? Is the reason that you tend to find yourself coming back because it's such a calming experience?
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely calming. I think one of the biggest reasons why it keeps me coming back is, I've never had any farming experience myself in real life. So to me, this is the closest I can get to a farm, short of trying to find a farm I can go to and visit. Anybody got a farm I can go visit, let me know. But yeah, this is definitely calming. It's relaxing. Like, some of the other guys were saying, it's not a first person, shooter style game, and you don't have to worry about something jumping out and getting you. You know what I mean? It's not a scary game. It's rated E for everyone. Everyone can play this. You can play this with your kids if you wanted to. You can play this with your teenage kids if you want to. You can play this with your adult friends if you want to. It's really meant for everyone. And but yeah, getting back to the relaxing, it is relaxing, and playing it with everyone, that's part of it too. So I think that's the biggest thing for me.
And Brenon, what about you? Is the reason why you tend to come back to Farming Simulator, is it because you find it relaxing, or what are your reasons?
Jonah donated
It's relaxing to me,
$4.99
like
through
the
Super
others
Chat.
said,
If you
and
can only have one
having
mod, what mod
fun
would that
playing
be?
multiplayer with your friends, and just having fun harvesting, and someone helping you with the auger wagon, or someone mowing or taking care of the animals and everything, and cultivating, and like contracts. Someone could do a contract to make us money. This is that was farming show is about.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right, so Brendan, another question for you. If money was no object, where would you want to go and travel to?
Um, uh, I like to go everywhere. Probably, I like to, like, visit, like, Kentucky, like where Mr. Timo lives, and yeah, and yeah, visit Nuclear, and visit different states I haven't been to.
I gotcha. What about you, Nuclear? If money was no object, where would you want to travel to?
Well, if I definitely had the money and the time, well, I definitely have the time, if money was an object, but um I'd probably want to visit all 50 states, and do like a grand tour of the US and just, see America the Beautiful and just see all 50 states and maybe visit every US capital and definitely the national capital and yeah, kind of just see what every state has to offer because every state's different and unique and there's plenty of them that I haven't been to so far. So, but yeah, that's what I like to do. Maybe like a nice road trip, like 3 month, 4 month long road trip, and just go see every state there.
That sounds fantastic. Mr. T-Bone, what about you? Money was no object, where would you want to travel to?
Uh, I would probably have to say I'm almost the exact same thing as Nuke. I would want to go and see Brendan and Matt and Nuke and just go around traveling the United States, and then I do like to go to Hawaii. I just want to do that. Maybe travel on a couple cruises, but other than that, though, that's about it.
And Matt, what about you? Money was no object,
Well,
where would you want to travel to?
uh, the same T-Bone and Nuke were saying. I'd love to get a motorhome and travel all around this great country of ours and see stuff I haven't seen in Grand Canyon. You got all sorts of cool and exciting places you could go in this country. Uh, yeah, T-Bone, you took the words right out of my mouth. Hawaii. For some reason, I want to go to Hawaii. I'd love to go. I'd love to go over to the UK sometime. We got old Cavalier that lives over there in the UK and hook up with him. We got
Hmm.
Germany. I'd like to go to see what that farm con's all about. Take the whole Shanty crew with us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fundraiser time. Sell some cookies. But yeah, that just like that. Just see the great country of ours, UK, Germany. Like to do that kind of stuff. Take my girlfriend to Italy. She wants to go to Italy. She's Italian, so she's got some Sicilian blood in her. So she wants to go to Italy.
I gotcha. Okay. All right. And Matt, back to you. What kind of family dynamic do you have at home? You mentioned you've got your son here on stream, and you've got your girlfriend there. Is there anything else going on, or?
We got 4 cats and a dog. Our 4 cats. One of them's both named Vanessa's. Leia. We kind of rescued her. The other cats were before I met Vanessa, and they're very good cats. Vanessa has a favorite, a Lou, a female cat, a calico, and she's really sweet. All the animals are really sweet. Our dog, we got our dog from the animal shelter. We adopted him. We fostered him for a few days. Oh, great, going to have a good dog here, but oh, the poor thing. I tell you what, the poor thing's got so much separation anxiety. Isn't it funny? Anytime we get up from a chair, its mouth starts chomping and he starts shaking and thinks we're going to leave him. And we can't kennel train him because he shakes in the kennel and he can't play well with other dogs. So we can't take him to a dog park with other dogs. We can't take him to any events here in town that has other dogs. Uh, Basically, as far as family, Brendan comes over, and if I need to clean out the computer room, he's over here helping me clean out the computer room. If I need to set up something on PC, he's over. Brendan's helping me, and
Or cook
my
on the
my
grill.
oldest son He's really busy with work, at the Dollar Tree. Uh, but other than that, my mom, she lives just out south of town, uh, and she's got an apartment in my brother's house in the basement, and then my brother lives out south of town too. So
Okay. Mr. T-Bone, what about you? What's your family dynamic like? You mentioned that you had two boys, if I remember correctly, correct?
Yes, sir. I've got two sons. I got one graduating high school. I got one going into high school. Um, and it's mainly about that and my, a few friends and my, main family, my brother-in-laws and my sisters. And we usually stick together pretty tight. And we do a lot of fishing and stuff like that.
Okay. And Nuke, what about you?
Well, it's my wife. I got 3 kids. The oldest just turned 5 on the 23rd here last month, and so 2 boys and 1 girl, and then we do have a cat. We recently got a cat last year, and she's actually expecting kittens. So we're gonna see how that goes. But we have our parents close by, and so they live in the same town as us. So that's pretty nice, and we're pretty close. We just got back from kind of spending the day out walking around, and they live close enough that we can just walk to their house and walk back home. So that's kind of a nice thing, and enjoy the fresh air. And um, but yeah, that's pretty much it for me.
Okay. And Brennan, because we already heard from your father there, we'll go ahead and just ask you a new question. So, how do you come up with the balance between a home life, spending time with the family, the work life, as you mentioned before that you were doing you were doing not Uber,
DoorDash.
DoorDash. Thank you. I don't know why that slipped my mind. Doing DoorDash and doing the whole mod creations. How do you find that balance?
Mm, I just like that balance. It's pretty fun to me. Yeah, the, yeah. I don't know what to say about that.
Okay.
This me, and my mom live in this apartment here.
him and his mom live in an apartment there,
And
and
they don't allow pets.
uh, they so yeah, he'll stay up with Mr. T-Bone and Nuclear after I get off the computer because I go to bed a little bit earlier, and he'll play games with them, and he'll sleep and watch TV, and him and his mom go out and visit his grandma, so
Yeah.
just out north of town.
I gotcha. And Nuke, what about you? How do you strike up that balance between the work, the family, and the modding?
Well, for right now, I used to work my prior job. Um, we were on 712s for a good majority of the time that I was working there. So that was pretty difficult. Now with this new job that I had this is my 4th year, so it's kind of not new, but with this one, it's seasonal, so I have a lot more balance with home. Um, so either way, it's one of us is working full time or one of us is at home, pretty much with the kids. So balancing it with this job, it's a little bit easier, I'll say that. And my wife, she enjoys, what she does, and she doesn't, I've asked her, would you prefer to stay at home with the kids and me go back to doing my old job and supporting both of us. And, she enjoys her job and she enjoys, she's got work friends and, she enjoys doing all that. And, but with the modding now, that's kind of it's taken kind of my gaming time. So it's not really added anymore, kind of to my load, but it's kind of taken the place of my gaming. So, I haven't been really gaming that much, only to kind of test out with what we're doing, testing out each other's maps, looking at each other's maps, and kind of looking each other. That's another thing that I really enjoy is how we kind of check each other and kind of help each other out, and that camaraderie that we have here, and it's really nice. But yeah, it's definitely no matter what you do, if you play this game and you have a family and work, it's definitely a balance, and it's finding that right balance that you're not taking too much away from either one.
Absolutely. Mr. T-Bone, what about you? How do you strike up that balance between, the family? You mentioned that you don't work, but the family and the modding.
Um, well, that sometimes it can be tough. I mean, it really can. Sometimes it's like, well, I need to get this done on the modding, but my family comes first. So that's just the way it is. That's just life. Um, we do this for free. We do this for fun. We do this because we enjoy it. Um, and when it comes to family, we all, I'm speaking for all of us, our family comes first, modding comes second. And so when it comes down to it, it's just one of them deals is when you got some free time, we'll mod. And that's about it.
I gotcha. And Matt, what about you? How do you strike up that balance?
For the most part, it goes okay between work and modding, but Vanessa, says, "Well, you need to probably spend a little more time with me, or do this, that," and so it does get difficult at times because I'm the one with the mindset. Well, I need to get this done. I need to get this done, and I don't want to let it linger because I don't want to lose interest in it. And then I'm in the computer room when I get home after door dashing, and she'll calling me, you need to take out dog. So then I get up, take out dog. Then I come right back in here. Need to eat dinner. I eat dinner with her, and then come right back in here. I probably need to work on that balance a little better. And what is she saying? But anyway, yeah, we have had that discussion, and I'm working on it. But she also think understands that I do want to get my map done, or any project that I'm doing, because after this map, I want to play. I want to play some. I want to play the game. I have not played the game very much since I've been modding. I got two little short gameplays on Cavaliers map. I find myself not playing on my maps at all. I will play on other maps other than our own. But yeah, sometimes balance is hard, but I'm working on fitting everything in.
I gotcha. Yeah, and it's really hard to find that balance, but
Vanessa said he comes out for meals. I mean, I'll be at home just doing my modding thing, but I have kind of, like, in the last few days, I've been taking a break and playing the game a little. Brennan's been after me, says, "Did you get Vanessa to download the updates to the fishing game?" And I said, "No, she hasn't done that yet." But so
I gotcha. And now I think it's time to go ahead and end this first segment here and move on to our next one. So this is going to be the perfect opportunity to go ahead and review the chat here to see if we have any questions for the group. So first off, let's go over the super chats and all that stuff just real quick, make sure I don't miss anything. Real Fanning Jonah with the gifted membership again. Jonah, thank you so much. Vanessa with the $9.99. Shanty Boy Love, thank you again so very much. Dean Powell has been a member for 6 months now. Thank you so much, Dean. And $1 super chat. Thank you, Dean, with no message. Farming with Outlaw Ag was a tier 1 member. Thank you, Outlaw. And we got Jonah with a $4.99 super chat, says, if you could only have one mod, what would that mod be? Matt, we'll start with you.
Well, I find myself more often trying to play without mods, playing just with what the equipment's given on a farm. But if I had one mod, I guess would be maybe a good production. It'd have to be a good production mod that does a multitude of things. Let's say I don't want to give anything away, but I'm just saying a good production mod that can do a multitude of things. I'll just leave it at that.
Okay, and what about you, Mr. T-Bone?
Power tools.
I'm sorry.
The power tools mod.
Power tools.
He's a
Gotcha.
console player.
Okay.
Oh, it's all about console players.
Yeah, I know. No, it would have to be if I had to pick one for console. I've always been a big fan of combines, so I guess it would be out of Case or John Deere, one of the combines from there that I could not do without.
Okay. And the power tools, if I understand it correctly, it's basically a toned down version of Easy Dev, is it not?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So yes, I may be a console player, but I know a few things here and there. What about you, Nuke? What's the one mod that you couldn't live without?
The one mod. Does it have to be something that we have, or can it be something that we've had prior? Because I would have to say the actual seasons mod, that was in 17 and 19.
Mm-hmm.
As far as I know, 17, 19. So that one I'd like to see come back and really open it up for other modders to kind of go into. But we just have that one base mod, because that had a lot of stuff in it, just a base mod, without any additional geos, as they were called.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that'd be my first pick right there.
So you are not the only person I've heard mention that before, and I'm right there with you. I love that one for FS19. That was a cornerstone of a lot of my gameplay was the Seasons mod, so I completely understand that one. Brenon, what about you? What's the one mod that you can't live without?
The sell everything.
Sell everything.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like you sell all your grains, bales, in one sell point.
Yep. Again, another one that I absolutely love, so I'm right there with you. Let's see. So looking through the chat here, we got one from Whiskey Creek Farms. Whiskey, thank you so much for your question. It says, has anybody ever recognized you in public? Brenon, what about you? Has anybody ever recognized you before?
Nope.
Nuke, how about you?
I don't think, no. I'm not big time enough to be recognized in person.
Mr. T-Bone?
Nope, I haven't either. I ain't signed no autographs for nobody yet.
And Matt, what about you?
Every year I go to the state fair thinking somebody will recognize me as a Shanty boy, but nope. Nope. I do. We do. Now, I don't know. T-Bone and I have talked about this one. We have talked to friends, like when I used to work at the university, or T-Bone and Peasant talk to friends. You ask people if they play Farming Simulator. And if you get the rare chance somebody says, yes, well, do you know this map? Yes, well, I made that map. Then it's kind of pretty cool. So, oh, really? You make that map? I mean, I've had that happen to me in real life. I met somebody at work, and that actually happened to me. I think you had a story similar, T-Bone.
Yes.
If I'm not mistaken, one of your friends.
Actually, a guy from about 20 minutes away from me texted me and seen me in chat, and he asked me where I was from. It was on YouTube. And when he did, he said, I play Farm Simulator, And I said, well, okay. I said, that's great. I do too. And I said, have you ever heard of Dark Forest? And he said, yes. He said, one of my favorite maps. I said, well, I was the one that made that. No way, he said.
It's a small world.
Well,
Yeah. Well, it is a small world, especially when FS Club lives a half hour away from me and Brennan. So
Oh wow,
yeah,
that's pretty cool.
yeah, he lives just down the road, and every once in a while he'll say where he's from. It's no big secret. He's from Sedalia. We live a half hour from Sedalia. Well, sometimes he'll use a reference Fairtown. That's where the Missouri State Fair is. So
Okay.
yeah.
Let's see. Ken, thank you so much for your question. Ken says, out of all the maps, mods, and vehicles on FS25, which are your guys' favorite? Matt, we'll start with you.
Of all the mods or maps, there isn't very many maps, but I think one of the most beautiful maps right now on 25 is Cavalier Roy's map. His river. Okay, I'm going to get this wrong. Help me out, T-Bone.
Riverview.
Riverview. Okay, there's a lot of river maps out there, so I need
Yes.
to be careful.
There's one where
I told Cavalier I played his riverbed map. He said, "Oh, good." He had to correct me there, but it's a very beautiful map. If you haven't played his map, mods really hadn't really got in depth with the mods yet. I'm sure there's some good ones out there, but really I haven't played the game much to look at any in great detail of the mods. So
I gotcha. And Mr. T-Bone, what about you?
Well, really, I got to play a little bit for FS25. But as of right now, you know, we all know that everybody pushing for more maps, because it's just a little slim on maps right now. So
yes.
the Shanty boys are really working their hind ends off to bring as many maps and the best maps we can. So as of right now, we're pretty much dedicated in editor.
Yeah. And our maps we're wanting to go all platform.
Yes.
Nuclear has a map he's wanting to go all platform. Of course, I do. Mr. T-Bone does, and I think maybe
I debated on
between.
one of my maps.
Well,
Yeah.
we've been talking about it. I think between all of us, we're gonna try to help Brennan get his map.
Because my
that-
next map
that
is
point.
based off a real life location.
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
it's a pretty
cool.
cool. Yeah, hey, there's a tool out there that we could do a real life location, and it works. The tool works pretty good. So you just kind of take a picture, makes your own field, does everything, makes basically the map for you. So
In that location where me and my dad used to live out in the country.
out in the country, yes, beautiful farmland.
Ronnie
So
Johansson
I mean, we
donated
talked about helping
$2 through
Brennan
Super Chat.
polish that one up. So
I gotcha. Let's see. Nuke, what about you? What's some of your favorite mods and maps for FS25?
Well, for FS25 so far, I'm pretty surprised to see Riverview come out pretty early on, as far as the mod maps go. And you know, congratulations to Roy for getting that out and for people to play on, early on like that. Another one, let's see, the new one that just came out recently, I might give that a try. The Prairie Farm, Michigan. Is that the name of it?
Yep.
yeah,
Yeah, I might give that a try, just something to play on, kind of for like a, kind of a side play. But, just like Mr. T-Bone said, for those of you who haven't been in Giants Editor, or really haven't taken to it, one time I went into it in 22 and I didn't really take to it. In 25, with the support of the Shanty Boys, I think I can say that I took to it, and it's really a whole game in itself,
yeah,
and if people, the best thing I can compare it to is people who like to go into a map and change it in construction mode, and you know how you can landscape and you can change the textures and you can place buildings down. Well, this is that, but you can pretty much do whatever
Adam
you
has
want.
become a
It's
member.
it's an open book, and so there's no limitations except for what the game is. But we've seen how that can be stretched. What modders can do, and that's what excites me about it too. So but mods. I was kind of interested in that peat system that came out with the other map, Tassie Farm. I think that's the name of it as well.
Yep.
That one was kind of interesting, and what interested me about that is it's an additional crop, and I love when people are able to bring out additional things for people to do on the game. That's really, it's not just another map, it's something additional that you can do on that map. So just anything like that's a pretty nice mod and kind of intertwined into that map as well.
I gotcha. And then Brennan, what about you? What's your favorite maps and mods for 25?
Let me think. Cavaliers, of course. That's a good map. And probably like one like Breaking Move and probably Michigan, that Michigan one Nico was talking about.
He does. Taylor Farms does make great American maps. He does make really good maps.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And a mod was probably a few John Deere's. Yeah, really good semis.
I'll tell you a really good mod that I wish they had in this game is the Batwing, the John Deere Batwing. I love that. That was a mower. That was really good. I love that one.
Same here. Yeah, that's a fantastic mod. All right, so next one we've got is actually from Vanessa. Vanessa asks, and thank you, Vanessa, for your question here. Says, one for Matt, what is your favorite map that you've made?
Oh, gosh. Well, the first one I made was St. Croix Flowage, but that's not really my favorite. That was, to me, T-Bone would beg to differ, but to me, it looked like a third grader made St. Croix Flowage because that's yeah, seriously, because the very experience I had in making maps back then. I was very, very inexperienced. I think the best map or my most favorite map that I made would have to be Blackwater Bottoms, farming map. I used to be, like T-Bone. T-Bone's forestry by heart, and I still do forestry, but I branched out. I love to farm. I love to work on the farm. I love to plant, but Blackwater Bottoms was my favorite. I wanted to make that like a real life map. It's kind of based off the area we live, but it's not. There's no true to life land. I wanted to originally do it like that, but I just couldn't. I didn't have the know how or the to do a real life map back then. But yeah, it's a good map.
Yeah, and quick little story. That was one of my favorites way back when it first released. My cousin actually introduced it to me. The same cousin who's doing the Let's Play series with me currently. And he's like, oh man, you got to check this one out. And sure enough, I go on there, I check it out, and I immediately fell in love with the starting farm, kind of on its own little island right in the middle of the map. Absolutely love that.
Now, Gaming Joy did help me. He helped implement a challenge. I did a map update, and I gave him the map, and he sent it back to me. And there was like two maps in one. He put a challenge in there that was based on a challenge him and Rusty came up with.
And he helped with the glass too.
And he helped with the grass. He made the grass look more realistic. He made it taller. It looked like you were on a little house in the prairie. It was amazing. Thank you, Gaming Joy.
Yeah, big shout out to Gaming Joy as well. All right, Gold Gaming, thank you so much for your question. Greatly appreciate it. And it's kind of have to be a two-parter. Number one, are you wrestling fans? And if so, who's your favorite wrestler? Now, for those who don't know why this is being asked, one of the previous guests we had on the show here was the Herd, and he used to actually be a commentator and did several positions within a local wrestling uh, company in his
Mhm.
local area, as well as having several other guests on who really enjoyed wrestling. So, Matt, we'll start with you. Do you enjoy wrestling? And if so, who was your favorite wrestler?
I used to follow it. It must have been 20 years ago. Back when it was when Brennan was young. So The Rock, you still had, I think, Hulk Hogan occasionally, Triple H, spitting the water out of his mouth and everything, coming out, and all the good music, all the good music they
Whiskey
had when
Creek
they
Farms
walked out. I used to
donated
watch wrestling quite
$2
a
through
bit back
Super
then, but
Chat. How did you choose the name
I
Shanty
don't watch
Boys?
wrestling anymore. It doesn't really interest me that much. Uh, we do have here in town a rest a wrestle. They used to have he's passed away a long time ago. Butch Reed. Uh, he used to be a wrestler. I don't know who he wrestled with or what association, but I guess a lot of big time wrestlers know of him. I don't follow it. I just don't leave it at that.
Gotcha. What about you, Mr. T-Bone? Are you a fan of wrestling? And if so, who is your favorite wrestler?
What do you want to know about wrestling? I watch it every week, every time it's on. So WWE, John Cena, going to be a bad guy after 22 years. I love that. That's awesome. Rock, Goldberg, Sting. I mean, I can just keep on naming. But yes, I'm a big time wrestling fan. So yes, I guess it would have to be John Cena for 22 years. This is his last year. He's fixing to retire, and he finally goes heel. So bad guy. And everybody's been wanting him to do it for years. He would never do it. Now here he is doing it, and it's great.
That's fantastic. I didn't even know he went heel. That's kind of a new one by me.
Yes.
Nuke, what about you?
I think I used to be really big into it when I was younger, my school days. I remember Friday night SmackDown. I would walk over to my friend's house and we would have it would be Friday night, so no school tomorrow, and so we'd sleep over and have a party, popcorn, soda, whatever, free for all. And pretty much watch SmackDown and sometimes have a SmackDown of our own in the living room and um end up waking his mom and but like now I don't really follow it. I'll always consider myself like a fan of it, um but yeah, I do remember when back when YouTube became a thing. um like we would only have what would came on every Friday or Monday night, whenever. But when YouTube came on, we would be able to search the videos of the old, Andre the Giant versus um, Hulk Hogan, or some of those, back in the the what was it, the WWF, I think it
Yes.
was.
Yes.
And so yeah, that was pretty cool. I remember that.
And did you mention who your favorite was?
My favorite, so growing up, my favorite was, so we had a trio of friends. It was, two of my buddies and me. And so one of them was, his favorite was Randy Orton. And then the other guy's was Batista. And then mine was John Cena at the time. Um, Now I think probably, like Hulk Hogan, he's a classic.
Mm-hmm.
Um, The Rock, he's a classic. Andre, he's a classic. Some of the others, like,
Ultimate Warrior.
yeah, I don't think I can really pin it on a favorite. I mean, like I said, John Cena was kind of our trio favorite that, we kind of said those were the three big ones at the time. Those
Mm-hmm.
were the three that were kind of, and then Triple H as well. But yeah, Triple H, I guess, he'd be up there too with one of my favorites. But yeah.
Okay. And then lastly, Brennan, what about you? Are you a fan of wrestling? And if so, who is your favorite wrestler?
I don't watch wrestling at all.
Okay.
That's all I just say. I like my NASCAR.
Okay, well then
Yeah, we
let's tweak it then. If you're a fan of NASCAR, who's your favorite driver?
Hmm, used to be Kyle Busch, but I just watch it for the fun now.
Okay, okay. What about your favorite race? What's your favorite track?
Oh, probably Daytona.
Oh, that's a good track. Yeah, high speeds and
Yeah.
that's where they can get like 3, 4 wide at good points and really get to racing.
I do like to go to a NASCAR race at the Kansas Speedway.
Okay.
You'd like to go? Yeah, that'd
Yeah.
be fun. That would be fun to experience that.
All right, so let's go ahead and move on to the next segment. We still have a few questions out there, but we'll save them for later. So the next segment is called Meat and Potatoes, emphasis on potatoes. This is where we get to know you more for your actual content rather than your personal histories. So I think the biggest question that I have for you all for this segment would be, where did the name Shanty Boys come from? Mr. T-Bone, you want to answer that one?
Well, actually,
Whiskey Creek
how about
Farms
we pass that
donated
on to Matt
$2 through
because
Super Chat.
he knows how to
Do it for
explain that
Dale.
better. Because actually, we all kind of come up with it together. So, I'll
So
let
yeah,
him.
me and Mr. T-Bone, when we started making the map, this is FS19. We were staying up to 4 in the morning making maps and waking up, going to bed when the sun came up. And this all serious, it was crazy. I don't know how we were like rock stars, man. We were just making these maps, and then next thing you know, we look. I said, "Mr. T-Bone, the sun is up." But anyway, how we get the name Shanty Boys? So I was saying, we're doing these logging maps, and I asked Mr. T-Bone if he ever heard of a lumberjack cook shanty, and I don't remember your response. I don't know if you said yes or no, but I said, let's go off a name like Shanty Boys or something like that, and he said that sounds great, and so that's how we came up with the name Shanty Boys, and then we just added map creations on the end of it. But if you ever heard of a lumberjack cook shanty, we're the Shanty Boys. So
Gotcha. And one thing that I've kind of taken note of after doing a bit of research, going through like your web page and whatnot, you list out a lot of your maps and whatnot, and one kind of running theme that I see is forestry. Forestry seems to be very prevalent amongst the Shanty Boys collection. Is there a particular reason why forestry is so heavily favored on your kind of collaboration there, or probably a better way to ask it is there something about forestry that really kind of drives you to it? Matt, let's start with you.
and the way I see it is that back when we started making these forestry maps, there was hardly anybody doing it. But they were awfully popular, and more people kept wanting forestry maps. And then there are groups out there, different like Facebook groups. There's different groups on just wherever, Discord, you name it. That people were wanting to have forestry maps, so that's kind of why we lean toward that, doing that, and it was just a challenge just to make everything a different design. And I think that's probably why, isn't it, T-Bone? Or can you help me out with that?
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, people, a lot of people out there, a lot of community at that time was wanting forestry maps. Seen it on YouTube, seen it on Facebook, seen it on this, seen it on that. Where's the forestry maps? So we kind of based it. I used to work in the logging business type thing, sawmills and stuff like that in real life. So I've always liked it. I've always done it. I've already, always known about it. So when we started making them, they it's almost like when you start, from scratch on something of, a learning process, and then you kind of spread out to farming or something different. You always don't want to ever forget your roots or where you come from.
Hmm.
So we always stick with that. That's
There,
always
there,
will be there.
there's always a good, there's always a forestry map. Like it's your the first start of anything. This land did not have farm fields on it automatically that were on in the United States. It was all forest. So you had to cut down the forest. You had to pioneer the map. Pioneering aspect, there's something about the pioneering aspect that is just pretty darn cool. Cutting down forest, a section of forest, and starting a little farm, and then going from there, making money.
Mhm.
So, one of the kind of running themes again that I've been hearing from doing this series, is, especially from other modders, is that they tend to say that one of the greatest joys that they get is not necessarily playing the game or making a map so they can play on it and stuff like that. It's being able to see the community at large, being able to kind of interact with it, how they proceed with playing on it and doing all that kind of stuff. That's where they kind of get the most out of the creation process. Would you say that that's kind of the same vein that you all fall in? Brennan, let's start with you.
Maybe, yeah. Sounds like it. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And Nuke, what about you? I know you're relatively new to this, but is that kind of what you feel is like driving you, is wanting to see that kind of interaction, or do you have a different kind of motivating factor so far?
Well, I'll tell you, at first, the whole thing that got me into it was wanting to create a map that I knew somewhere where I lived. And since no one had created other than T-Bone on the Shanty website, he had made a Western Kentucky map. And to my knowledge, that was the only map that I was able to play on, on ModHub or third party, that was, kind of looked like where I lived and really where I got my love of farming, my love of agricultural. So that's what kind of started it. Now that when I started, I didn't really know what where it was gonna go, so I was just gonna say, okay, if I can make this for myself and that'll be good enough. Now that, it's it's to this point where I'm at, it's not impossible to think that, maybe this map could come to all platforms, with it's gonna be a lot of hard work, but it's not impossible, So that's kind of where my thinking is now, and to see if it could come to all platforms for everyone to enjoy and not just me or not just, people on PC or third party, that would really bring a lot of, kind of joy and um, sense of accomplishment, saying that everyone can play on this, everyone would be able to kind of
Hmm.
maybe not feel the same thing that I feel because it's really it's personal to me, but
Hmm.
kind of at least be able to play on the map that was personal to me.
I gotcha. I gotcha. No, that's definitely sounds like a good kind of you know I guess origin story, for lack of a better word. Mr. T-Bone, what about you? Is some of the motivating factor behind you creating the maps that you do is to kind of see that interaction? Is that where you kind of get your motivation from, or is it something else?
Well, technically, it is. It's about first. It's a hobby. It's something I love doing. It's relaxing. That's the very first start of anything. If you love it, you're going to do it. If you don't love it, you're going to quit it. But the thing of it is what motivates me is not me playing on them, not me playing on my maps at all. I will, but I rather watch other people on like YouTube, the community, The farming community is awesome. They play it. It tickled me to death. I'll sit here and watch it all day long. It's all about what we can give back and to the farming community.
Mhm.
So that's pretty much what I base my motivation on, and real life stuff. Just like most of some of my maps ain't, some of them are. That are based on real life, and it does have emotional connections to some of my maps. And when it does come down to it, that's what it means the most when I see somebody else enjoying something I created.
I gotcha. And what about you, Matt? Same question.
And I'm going to echo what Mr. T-Bone said verbatim. It's the enjoyment. Him and I have talked about this. We talked about that quite often back in the day. We love watching people play our map. I J Meister, that's in the chat. I met him. He was playing my Blackwater Bottoms, and I said, okay, I'm just going to go into a random game and play with some people. And that's where we met Jay Meister. I said, you know who I am, don't you? No, who are you? And he's Jay Meister and this other guy said, I'm Matt. I made this map. Really? You're playing with us? They thought that was so darn cool. And I was like, yeah. And I said, are you guys enjoying the map? And he said, oh, yes, we are. Very much. Now Jay Meister, we kind of inducted him into our family. He's testing maps. Vanessa, she tests my maps. She plays around on them and says, Matt, you need to change this. Jay Meister does the same thing. T-Bone's sending them maps.
And Jake still has good eyes. He caught following my fields on my map. Thank you, Jake.
Jake Strigg's got good eyes, yes. But just watching people enjoy our maps. Like T-Bone said, we'll just surf YouTube and play my map. Sometimes we'll interact with them. Sometimes we'll just just lurk, sit back and lurk. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, so Matt, we'll start with you on this one. It's going to be a two-parter. So first off, when did you start playing Farming Simulator, and what FS year, and when did you start creating mods and maps?
So I first started playing FS 15 or was it 17, Brenon? Do you remember?
We got into it on 17, mostly 17.
Mostly 17?
We really got to play it.
When we got to play it. So it was, FS 17 when we really got to play. So I guess FS 17. And it's been so long ago, I don't remember what the game even looked like or
we had we had FS 15, but we didn't play it as much.
Right. But so FS 17 start playing. I'm sorry, the two-parter. What was the other question?
When did you start making mods?
I started making mods or maps, not mods. I started making the maps back in FS 19 with Mr. T-Bone. I met Mr. T-Bone. He came into one of my live streams because I would just do farming live streams. That's all I was doing at that time, or logging. And he came into my chat, and then we just became friends over the course of the year. And the last year of the game, maybe a year and a half of the game, is when I started making a map, because I would watch Mr. T-Bone make his map. And we'd be like this on Discord. He'd be sharing his screen. I said, this looks really fun. You want to teach me how to do this? He said, sure. If it wasn't for T-Bone teaching me how to do it, I probably wouldn't be doing it.
Oh, that's awesome. And Mr. T-Bone, what about you? When did you start playing Farming Simulator, and when did you start making your maps?
FS 19 on console. And I come into Matt's live stream and met and got friends and stuff like that. And I decided to go to the dark side and get a PC. So when I did, I wanted to learn how to build a map. Um, that's why I'm half bald now because I about pulled all my hair out because of
Oh
trying to
yeah.
learn it. And so when it did come down to it, and we finally got things figured out to how to make a map, um, then what I did know, and I don't know everything, and I'm still learning. Um, is I try to pass as much as I know down to somebody else to help them out because, in my eyes, we don't have enough map makers out there.
And Nuke, what about you? When did you start playing, and when did you start? Well, we know when you started modding. When did you start playing?
I started playing on FS15, and that was back. I want to say that was on 360. So I've been on console most of my farming simulator kind of little career there. But yeah, most of my play has actually been on console. I've only been on PC uh for 22 and now 25. So all of 15, 17, and 19, I was a console player. When 17 came out, I got the Xbox One and played 17, 19 on Xbox One. When 22 came out, I still had my Xbox One, and I still have 22 for my Xbox One. But about 3 months into 22, I bought a laptop, and really we were just replacing a laptop that we needed to replace. And well, we were, when we bought it, we didn't really think of it, but it was able to play, Farming Simulator on the laptop. So I was like, well, heck yeah, I'll jump over to the PC now. So I started on PC or started on a laptop for PC, and then just towards the end of 22, um, I built a computer for myself here, desktop power computer, and so that's what I'm playing on now. And so that's always consider myself a console player at heart, but you know, now that I'm on PC, it like what's been said, it's hard to go back. It's
Mhm.
there's some games that I'll go and I'll play on the Xbox from time to time, but for as far as I can't play 25 on my first generation Xbox One. So that's out of the question. But yeah, and then modding, like you said, I just gotten into it, but yeah, I'm excited for that, see where that can take me.
Excellent, excellent. And Brennan, you mentioned that you were starting in FS17. When did you start
Yeah.
making maps?
Back in FS19, because my dad, Mr. T, was making maps. I said, oh, I think I could do it, right?
Mhm.
It all
Yeah.
matters as long as you
Yeah,
think you can do it, buddy.
Yeah.
yeah.
You started. We helped you out and
Mhm, mhm.
helped you out with the XML and stuff.
Yeah, yeah. Started putting FS17 on PS4, by the way. Yeah, and I just bought a PC. Yep,
I gotcha.
and here we are.
I got real quick.
Of course.
Just mention Julia. She's a Shanty girl. And of course, Vanessa. We mentioned her, and then Nuke's wife is a Shanty girl also. And
And
they support us and help us out. They play the game and they're really there for us. I
and
want to
Julia,
mention. And go ahead, T-Bone.
and Jakester, he's our
Yeah,
Shanty boy tester.
he's our tester. Yeah.
and Julia's good for giving us ideas to add on our maps.
And Vanessa is usually my idea of, she said, "Oh, put something here." So
Gotcha, gotcha. And then let's see. Matt, we'll start with you on this one. What's one thing you never expected when you started creating content? Some examples are the sense of community or any kind of unexpected backlash in regards to anything. Just something that you never thought would happen but did.
uh well, with farming, making content with farming similar, it's just the community thing. It's I was like, because your other games, there's nothing like this farm sim community. It's like everyone knows everybody. You go, it doesn't matter. You could go. I didn't know who you were, BDD, and until I came into your chat. But look at all these people. I know Ronnie, Vanessa, J Meister, Ghost Boy. I've seen him. John Brock. John Brock. He hangs out with Six Wheeling. You go up the list, and I know everybody. If you had like 50 streamers stream Farm Similar, you'd see all these people in there. It's amazing the community, and trying to think where I'm going with this now. But go ahead, BDD. I've lost my train of thought officially.
Oh, no worries, no worries. What about you, Mr. T-Bone? Has there been any kind of unexpected things that happened in your time as a modder and map maker here for Farming Simulator? Again, since the community or any unexpected backlash, things like that.
Well, in the community, just like Matt said, everybody around. You see one, you see the other. It's a big family. Another thing is, I've had a couple of little backlashes. I've had some major PC problems. If it wasn't for the community and the Shanty Boys, I would not be able to do what I'm doing for the community as we speak. So I have to give a big shout out to the Shanty Boys and the community for helping me
Yeah.
continue to do this.
Like I sent him a mouse and keyboard through the mail
Yes.
to use to have him make maps and stuff.
Yes.
I sent him a microphone.
Yes.
Right?
That's what I'm using right now, Brenon, buddy.
My dad sent him stuff too.
Yes. Farmer Cobb had donated before in the past. Rusty Money had donated before in the past to get me some computer parts to build my PC. Matt has. Vanessa has. Nuke. He's helped me with a few little surprises just the other day that where we can all play together and enjoy and have fun and hang out.
Just a real quick kind of side thing here, just real fast. The more and more that this conversation has gone on here, I really kind of get this sense of almost like family. Like somebody had mentioned it earlier, and it's really, I feel, coming through in this conversation, and it's very heartwarming to hear all this. So thank you all so very much for being on here tonight and sharing this with us all. I personally really appreciate it, and I'm certain that there's many other people out there who appreciate it as well. And like I said, it's just one of those where just listening to you all talk and all of you started as, well, not all of you, but most of you started as strangers and have come together through this community. It's one of the things I've said many times, that this is one of the best communities I've ever been a part of. And it sounds like you all have come together and have created more than a friendship, but almost like a family. And that's fantastic. So very, very, very happy to hear that you all are in the positions that you're in.
We are fortunate, because like within any community there can also be toxicity, and we I guess you need to choose your friends wisely. I'm loving this. Things aren't permanent in the gaming world. Friends come, friends go. I just hope we can stay friends.
Yeah.
Me and Brenon thought we had some other friends that we used to play on PlayStation. We thought we'd go visit each other, and we hardly even talk to them anymore. They've started doing their own things, and we've kind of formed a little pact, made a pact saying this is what we need to do. This is how we need to do it. If we don't need to be fighting, you get a lot of groups like us that are making maps together, then I think that's one reason FDR doesn't hang out with anybody. He does his own thing, because he doesn't.
I still do get attached to one of those old PlayStation friends.
And here's another thing too with that, and I'm gonna add on to that. Um, when it comes to it, the Shanty Boys is about learning, hanging out, having fun, loving what we do, and if we're all working on a map, we kind of throw ideas to
Yep.
each
Yep.
other for our maps,
Yep.
and that's based on friendship, and it has ended up being a big Shanty Boys family.
Hmm.
Yep. We're a group that help each other's out, right?
Yeah,
Yep.
we're always striving for knowledge. We're always researching. Oh, is there a better way we could do this? How do you put a road down? How do you place trees down? How do you work this? Like there's a lot of new features in FS25 to map making that we're still learning. We are very fortunate enough to have Cavalier Roy that
Yep.
pops into our voice chat, and he'll help us out. He is very gracious, because sometimes all three of us, four of us, are like, how do you do this at the same time? Is like we have to sometimes stop and think, well, we need probably go one at a time and not overwhelm the man. He's trying to make his own darn map, and we're like, how do you do this? How do you do this, Cavalier? Why isn't this working?
You do it this way.
So, but he's gosh, Cavalier, I don't know where we'd be even without him. A
Uh,
lot
uh,
a lot of people that have taught us,
yes.
and then, but
C-
I have. Go ahead, T-Bone.
CC is another
Yeah,
one.
CC.
Oh,
Yeah.
TC, yeah, I can't forget Stacey.
No.
TC is another a great friend of ours. He's a whiz with XML and stuff, and "Well, do this, and but XML is probably one of the hardest things to grasp for me. I have to sit there and study it, and finally, sometimes it clicks, sometimes it doesn't. Uh,
I've been kind of getting handled the XML
Gaming
myself.
Joy has been gracious enough to say if you ever need any help, just
Yes.
ask. Gaming Joy is very great to extend his hand out. So,
Yeah.
but
And
yeah,
on that point there, I'm sorry, but it's the fact that the farming community is awesome. It's not very many modders, and I'm going to state this, but it's not very many modders or map makers out there that has the time to try to help someone else. Because they're trying to get their stuff done
they're good.
themselves.
Yeah, exactly. They're trying to get their stuff done themselves, and like I would, but it's going to take my time out of my day to help you guys. It's just
Yes.
like, so we either have to learn it ourselves. We research YouTube videos. Farmer Bob, you got Bauer Brown, you've got
Yep. Yep.
any number of those people who put out these good YouTube videos to how do you do this? How do you create a field? How do
EDA.
Yes.
how do you do a PDA? Now the videos you see how to do PDA, Cavalier really does it differently. He makes another copy of the map. He breaks everything down and basically pieces it all back together again. And his PDAs are amazing. There's just all sorts of. We're always striving to learn to make our next map better. Now, BDD, you play Blackwater Bottoms,
Mm-hmm.
and then you got to peek at my new creation that I'm working on. So it's totally different. I hope people can see how I've learned and improved. Same with Mr. T-Bone. His map, Angela's Whispering Hollows, and just to see how we have grown in our map making journey.
Yeah.
Absolutely, and I personally can't wait for any of these to come out. It's going to be a good day when they hit the mod hub. So, Nuke, going back to you real quick with the previous question, what is one thing that you never expected when you started creating your content? Again, sense of community, any unexpected backlash, things along those lines.
I just never expected to really know this many people. I think I know more people in the FS community than I do in real life. Different people's, even just their username on YouTube. I think I can probably count my inner circle on my hands, but
Mm-hmm.
as far as the FS community goes, it's a big community and it's growing. At the launch of 25, I really never expected Farm Sim to really kind of explode in this way and to take off. I think I don't know the numbers off the top of my head, but I think it's pretty much tripled in size since like 1917. The games there. So that's kind of one thing that was unexpected, and just the community as a whole. Getting to know people, seeing all their creations.
Hmm.
That's the one thing that really got me into this whole community, was kind of seeing everybody's different creations and saying, hey, I could get that idea for my farm, and kind of,
Hmm.
use this kind of like a tip or a trick, if you want to call it that, or just, hey, this looks nice if you do it this way, or this is a different way of doing this, or even like this is a realistic way of doing something, something like that. People like to play realistic, some people like to play unrealistic, that's a whole
Hmm.
nother thing that you know and the whole unrealistic thing too, that kind of exploded too, now that's a big thing, unrealistic farming. So yeah, I think that's kind of, yeah, for me.
And Brennan, same question to you. What was one thing you never expected when you started to do your modding or mapping?
um, just making just meeting good people that helps out. Like I would like where the others say like good community,
Hmm.
good friends, and yep. Like I met Nuku like how many years Nuku? Like 3 years, couple years ago.
Yeah, like going on 4 years, yeah, since I yeah.
He been a really good friend to me. I introduced him to my dad and Mr. T-Bone,
Hmm.
and they liked him too.
Yeah.
Excellent, excellent. So, unfortunately, we are starting to come up on the 2 hour mark, and I
Oh
cannot
no! Oh
believe that
no!
we're already there. So
That went fast.
yeah, it really does. Yeah, I tend to try and cut it off at the 2 hour mark just to be respectful to everyone's time. Even though there's probably, dozens and dozens of other questions I could probably ask. But
Mhm.
let's go
Oh,
ahead.
we could go on all night. I mean, just ramble on. Just we just could figure out all sorts of conversation. It's been really good interview. I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed my
Yeah.
time.
Well, I'm really glad to hear that, and I hope that every single one of you has had an absolutely fantastic time here tonight.
Yes.
So let's go ahead and wrap up this second segment here. We'll catch a few more of the questions from the audience there, and then we will go ahead and do our signing out from there. So, big shout out to Dust Bunny. Dust Bunny, thank you so much for once again gathering up these questions for me and sending them over. I greatly appreciate you. First one comes from Farming with Outlaw Ag. Let's see. You know what? We asked a similar question to Matt there, so I'll just go around to the rest of the group. Mr. T-Bone, what's the favorite map that you've come out with?
In what game? 19, 22, or 25?
I You know what? Dealer's choice. Just out of all the maps that you've created, which one is your favorite?
Well, I'm going to have to say one has not been released yet. It's going to hopefully come for all platforms, and it's Angela Whispering Hollow. It's in memory of my sister. I lost her a year ago in a car accident.
Well, I'm very sorry for your loss. So is there a specific feature about it that you looking forward to, or is
It's
it just the dedication itself?
it's well, a little bit of both. It's a dedication of it's based on a Western Kentucky map, and it is a farming map, and it would be my first farming style map that has been released for all platforms, and I'm going to do with what I know and the help from the Shanty boys of trying to get it passed to all platforms in memory of her. And that's that's the reason why it's so special to me, because technically it's based on where I live at.
Well, like I was saying earlier, I'm genuinely looking forward to everyone's map, but that one now just kind of, no offense to anybody else, but that one just kind of took the lead for me, and just throwing it out there. Nuke, what about you? I mean, you don't have much in the way of repertoire for the maps here, so let's kind of change up for you ever so slightly. So instead of the maps that you have made, which is your favorite, what would you say is your favorite map that you've played on?
Well, my favorite maps that I played on, they're based on real life location. So, and that's my big thing is, kind of um how real can you get to being on a farm, And so one of them, hands down, would be Lone Oak, 17. Another one that has made its way throughout the farm sims would be uh, Millennial Farmer Map, or MF Map, whatever it's being called now. But that map, Millennial Farmer Map, Lone Oak, those two always have a special place in my heart. I think they're pretty much tied for my favorite. But in 22, Blackwater Bottoms, that was a map that I played on a lot, and I think that was I think that might have been the first Shanty Boy map that I played on. I'm
Yeah,
not sure.
we had fun on that map.
Yeah, we definitely had a lot of fun on that map, but
That
yeah,
was a fun map.
Nuke, if you don't mind me chiming in, I like your creation you're doing now, if you know
Yeah.
what I'm talking about.
yeah. And that's another one. It's based on a real life location, and not to put down any of the fictional maps, that's great as well. I've played on a lot of maps that have been totally fictional, and they're great maps.
No, absolutely. And I'm right there with you. I love playing on those maps where you can actually like reference them in real life and be able to be like, you know what, that exists, kind of thing. So I completely understand what you're saying there. It kind of grounds the map in reality, to where the fictional maps, like you were saying, nothing against them, because there's plenty of them that are amazing maps, but there's just something about it. It's like, you know what, I could drive there and I could see what the map maker was going for with these specific
Right.
locations and all that stuff. You can just, you've got like a point of reference almost,
Right.
if that makes sense.
One map that comes to mind, I'm sure Brennan will chime in on this one. Alma, Missouri. That
Yeah,
Alma, Missouri
Alma.
map. Alma,
Oh,
Missouri.
that's an awesome map.
If any one of you go to Google,
Oh.
the street view and
It is
compare,
spot
it is
on accurate.
spot on the city. It just, me and Brennan were like floored when we saw that.
We have
Unfortunately,
a YouTube
I didn't get to play much on that map. I would have loved to play on it. I don't know if he's going to bring that out again or
Yes.
not, but
Yes.
that I think that's one of the most accurate maps I've ever seen as far as real life.
Yeah,
area.
and Alma, Missouri is a fantastic map. I did a series on it for FS22, and yeah, it's a fantastic map, and reminds me of the small town that I grew up in. That kind of main street there, where all the American flags are just hanging in the middle of the street there, just lining up the entire roadside there. I absolutely adored that map.
Small farming community, a sense of the closeness, family, just small community.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then, Brennan, what about you? Well, I guess, how many maps have you made up until this point, Brennan?
I think I think I made two of them on FS19. I think two of them on 22. Now I'm working on a third one.
Okay.
For 25.
Of the four you've created so far, which one is your favorite?
This one hasn't been released. It's based off where my dad lives. And
we used to live out north of town.
and this is the memory of my grandpa.
Brennan got a program that does some real life terrain, and the program created basically the map for him. All he has to do is program everything and program buildings in with XML. But like I said, we're going to give Brennan a lot of support on that.
Yeah, and this was the memory of my grandpa, Sunny Farms.
He's going to name it Sunny Farms.
That's the name he went by.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic.
His grandfather passed away a couple months ago, so he's going to name it after him.
Yeah, he was not a farmer. I'm making the map as a farm.
Gotcha. I'm just going through and let's see. Jay Meister, thank you so much for your question. Says, I would like to thank the Shanty Boys, including me as their new tester and just including me in the group.
Well, you're welcome, buddy. Anytime.
You're welcome, Jay Meister.
You deserved it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Let's see.
He's been really good friend of ours.
And again, thank you to Dust Money for sending those over to me. I'm just going to do one last search here in the chat, make sure I don't miss anything. Oh, here we go. Here's one from Pippa. Thank you so much, Pippa, for your question. It says, do you guys do any carrots in game?
Do we when we play the game?
Yeah.
When
so
we play the game, do we harvest carrots?
Correct. Yep.
I have not got a chance to do carrots. I would love to do carrots. I would love to do green beans.
Yes.
Whatever new crop they have in the game, I would love to do it because that's amazing. Because then all those crops can go to like a factory or whatever, and you can make something out of it. I think that's just amazing.
Let's see. Just doing one quick glance here. I think. No, I'm not seeing any other questions. So I think this will be a good chance for us to go ahead and go into our third and final segment called That's a Silage Wrap. So this is where we're just going to start closing things out. And again, I want to thank all four of you so very much for coming out here tonight, hanging out and doing this interview. I greatly, greatly appreciate it. I had an absolute blast. And based on what you were saying, it sounds like you all did too.
Yeah, we did.
Excellent. So first things first, can you remind us where we can find you all? Matt, let's start with you.
You can find me on YouTube, and I believe I saw Dust Bunny post the link in the chat, and I think BDD has that in here. So YouTube, my channel is Matt. We do have a Discord. I don't know if we ever gave you that Discord, BDD. If not, we can send that to you, and you can kind of add that to it, I hope. Let's see. I got my own Discord. Brenon has his. Mr. T-Bone has his. Our website should be linked up there.
Correct. Yep. And Mr. T-Bone, how about you? How can people find you?
They can find me on Shantyboys Map Creations Discord. They can find me on Mr. T-Bone 39 YouTube. They can find me in Matt's Discord. They can find me in Brennan's Discord, or they can find me in Nuke's Discord. So usually, if I'm around, they're around. If they're around, I'm around.
Mm-hmm.
And Nuke, what about you? Where can people find you?
Mainly here on YouTube, Twitch, Twitter. I have my own Discord, the Shantyboys Discord, Rusty's Discord, Bruce's Discord. Lots of Discords. So yeah, if you guys ever need to reach out, mainly Discord or I think Discord's would be the best one.
And Brenon, what about you? Where can people find you?
On my YouTube channel, Shantyboy Discord, my dad's Discord, and yeah, my Discord.
We're in a lot of Discords. A lot of these people that we see in the chat, we're in their Discords.
Yes.
So you can find us in a number of them in passing.
Excellent. And also want to give people an opportunity to let us know all your future projects that you want to let us know about. So I know we talked about a couple here tonight, but just want to give an opportunity to kind of lay them all out, right here at the end there. So Matt, what about you? What kind of future projects are you doing at the moment?
The one at the moment, I'm working on a farming map. It's totally farming. Got maybe a corner of it has forestry. It's going to be called Maisie Lou Farms. I'm probably about 75% done with it. I've got to add some traffic and some pedestrians, and basically it's a functional map at the moment. I just got to do some polishing on it, so to speak. And my goal is to have that wrapped up in a month.
Excellent. Mr. T-Bone, how about yourself?
Hopefully got my sister in memory of my sister map, Angela of Whispering Hollow, completed. It's running through some testing, through us. It hopefully gets sent to Giants here soon. Farmer Cop done an early access map tour of it today. So thank you, Farmer Cop. And then, who knows? It will be several more maps coming from the Shanty Boys.
Don't forget about the news we did today. What your Dark Forest?
Oh, yes. Oh, by the way, Dark Forest has been tested last night. This morning actually got tested. And it got sent back with one little addition it needed, and it was just one. So I got that finished this morning, and we have sent it back. So hopefully we'll see that first of next week sometime.
Yep.
For all platforms.
Excellent. Nuke, what about you? What kind of future projects you got going on?
Well, so if you didn't know, I do have a map already out on the Shantyboys website. It's my first map release, but it's really my second map. So I still have my first map that I was working on initially, and I'm really trying to put as much detail as I personally can with my, just getting into the map making and all that, and kind of my standard of what I think, and also what the other Shanty Boys thinks as well. They've been a great input of, let me know what is going to be good for this map and what can I add and what not. And so that map is the first one, which is already out on the Shanty website. That's Elwha River Valley, and that's a forestry map. And one of your viewers asked if that map was coming to all platforms, and at this time, I think it's just kind of a good first map just to kind of have, and kind of work my way up from there, and kind of use that as kind of a little bit of a standard for forestry. But this second map, which is the first map, is Hazelnut Farms, and that's going to be submitted to ModHub for all platforms, and so hopefully that passes and that will be available for everybody. Future projects, I guess I can let you guys know here that the third map that I'm working on is going to be an Oregon-based map. It's going to be based in Tillamook, Oregon, and that's going to be a mix of forestry and farming. It's going to be about 70% farming, 30% forestry, and so that's going to be something I'm working on in the future. Other than that, I think that's kind of as much as I want to say.
Excellent. And Brenon, what about you? Any future projects are you working on?
Right now is that Sunny Farms. It's still my future project. And of course, got those two other on the website, Warring River 2 and Cheesehead Forest. Yeah, I don't know where I go make after Sunny Farms.
Gotcha. And again, I want to thank you all so much for coming out here tonight, and this is where I turn it over to the audience. I hope you all enjoyed this, and if you did, I ask that you just go ahead and let me know if there's anybody in particular that you would like to see join me here on Farm Sim Talk. Like I said, we're doing, modders, map makers, YouTubers, Twitchers, the whole 9 yards. If there's somebody out there that you really enjoy watching and you want me to go ahead and do an interview with them, just send me send me their name in either Discord, Facebook, any of my socials, and I'll be sure to do my due diligence to try and reach out to them and get them onto the show. All that being said, I hope that everybody enjoyed it, and if you did, please show me by liking, sharing, subscribing, following, commenting, doing all the things. The algorithms enjoy you doing, the shows you're engaged with this channel, and enjoying the content. And that being said, I hope everybody has a fantastic day. Take care. Gentlemen, if you'll hang on until after the outro there, I'll catch you on the other side.
Okay.
Thank you.